That's cool. Big contrast.
Well, there is the tale of the tape for Ilias Mardy in the red corner. 23 years old from Paris, France. He's got a 3-1 record. If there is a criticism, it's that all 3 wins have come by way of decision, and he's looking for his first stoppage here at Karate Combat. The statuesque figure of Owen Chelmier, fighting out of Arles in Ireland, although originally born in London, over in the UK, studying electrical engineering as a research student at university, but he's been putting quite a record together here at Karate Combat. 2-0 leading into this title fight.
Wow, 0 movement. He didn't even blink, I think. Was he breathing?
No breathing.
There we go.
It's interesting, Owen Chelmier's main coach is his mother, who's never missed really any of his fights, and you know, really does give him the inspiration he needs with his performances so far.
Ready? Ready? There we go.
Our referee Mark Goddard gets this one underway. No touch of gloves. 5 3-minute rounds should they need them. And Chelmier opens up first with a kick to the legs from the center of the pit.
And here we go. Let's see what happens with movement. Look at that, using the wall.
Yeah, good body lock from Mardy, but Chelmier floats up against the wall, looks for that little Uchimata, and he's got to be careful, he's not backed up here. Good kick of the leg from Mardy, but quickly wrapped up in guard to stop the action from Chelmier, but it's a nice first sequence from the Frenchman.
Yep.
Josh Palmer, Bas Rutten, and the Dragon Lyoto Machida pit side for this one. Thank you for joining us here at Karate Combat.
Yeah, he was talking about that he was talking crap to his opponent in his native language, which with his last opponent was also French.
He's actually only fought Frenchmen so far. It's quite surprising.
So this is his 3rd Frenchman, and he knows the language, apparently, the bad words, I think.
He's been practicing.
Yeah.
But that is total gamesmanship, because out of the pit, he's the most respectful young man you'll ever talk to.
100%.
Nice cross kick to the side. Just closing the distance there, locking up against the pit wall. And they're going to wait for a stand-up from the referee, separating themselves in the end. Chelmier staying light on the feet as he comes forward, and that's a good counter from Mardy.
Yep, very good count.
You see immediately Chelmier gets that head position, that's forcing Mardy to be further away from him, not able to execute any takedowns. Good jab to the body there.
Yep, most of the time it's going to be a setup for something else. Good attack from Mardy.
Oh, good switch stance to come back in from Chelmier. Looks for that trip, then down to the pick. Good work from Mardy. Nice straight 1-2. Very, very straight shots.
Yeah, that was great striking. And his kicks, everything is working.
Chelmier finds his way in with a left, little exchange, but nobody getting too much in the way of damage there.
Going back.
Again, that side kick for Mardy. It lands very nicely to the body of Chelmier, and he lands 2 excellent shots and circles out. Beautiful footwork from the Frenchman.
Exactly, I was just going to say the same thing. He's in and out, connects, and boom, he's gone.
And Chelmier moving forward all the time.
Yep, that's what his style, it's constantly coming in, you know?
And Mardy, you can see he's practiced that weapon to keep the range. Solid first round from both guys there. Perhaps Ilias Mardy getting some of the better exchanges.
I think so, because he was mixing the kicks up better. He connected with more strikes.
Let's take a look at some of the replays here.
That was a good kick.
I like the calf kick, but I like the Yokogiri that Mardy just did. No, so good because he can keep the distance, at the same time he can hurt his Chelmier.
Yep. Great kick there again from Mardy.
And Lyoto, talk to me about this in-out style from Marty. That was the one. That was the straight 1-2. But then he got backed up against the corner here, and he hit and circled all in one motion. It was beautiful.
So Chelme is a good matchup for Marty because he's coming forwards all the time. So for the guy who moves a lot and like to counter, so it's good for Marty because Chelme, he doesn't stop. He always tries to come, and he's in the right range for take some punches and kicks too.
So he's a little bit more predictable because it's constant forward motion.
Yeah, but Chelme is so aggressive. You can see that. You can see in his face, no emotion, and so aggressive.
Second round underway here. Marty opens up with a leg kick. Another side kick. And as you said there, Lyoto, immediately aggressive. Chelme once again pressing forward.
Beautiful.
Eats a lot of shots to the guard, but not too much pop on that kick from Marty.
No.
That's a beautiful combination. He gets dropped to the canvas. He's recovered quickly. But it's a good sequence from Chelme in his most decisive moment of the fight so far.
He is a little dazed, it looked like.
Yeah, you can see that's why Chelme is pushing immediately straight back. And that's interesting defensive posture. Tries to load up the throw.
Very interesting.
That's very interesting, yeah.
Bas, have you spotted any differences in the game plans from either of these two from the previous times we've seen them?
Well, in round 2, you saw Chelme started bouncing a little bit more back and forth. So I think that from the first round, since he was still happy with his performance because his opponent did really well, you know, he started changing his style a little bit.
More loose, right?
Yeah,
more loose.
More loose, yeah. And moving in and out and in and out. You see, he didn't do this in the first round. He was just moving forward.
Yeah.
And Marty's really good with his legs and to keep his opponent outside that distance. But he has to watch out. So the leg, Marty wins that.
Yeah.
And Chelme, I think his punches are better.
Yeah, when Ilias Marty joined us, he was the youngest competitor on the entire roster. And, you know, he's still only just 23 years old. Chelme, by contrast, is, you know, just a year older.
Yeah, and although actually I just said this with the head, but Marty, if I think back around number 1, you know, the beautiful 1-2 that he landed twice, right? That was really crisp.
Yep.
Yeah, probably straighter shots than we've seen him throw for
Exactly, yeah.
So Chelme has a good eyes. You can see he's not even blink when he's in the middle of the fight. No, he can see everything. You see?
Yep. Constantly open.
Oh, he ate a shot there, though, and that's good head movement from Marty, but he runs out of space.
Laying backwards, like, come on, buddy. I'm just tanning.
30 seconds left in round number 2.
Beautiful 1-2. And movement right after. He's doing a great job. Beautiful, look at that.
Yeah, but
okay, couldn't finish it, yeah. But, you know, he improved a lot.
Yeah.
And he was already good, but I really like what I'm seeing.
I think he's improved in the clinch as well.
Yep. Look at that. The cross kick, side kick, Yoko Giri, all three same. Looks really good.
Last couple of seconds here and another round in the books. Touch of gloves as they part ways. Both still looking very fresh, but a good solid work rate throughout.
Yeah.
Let's take a look back at some of the replays here.
Boom.
What do you think about this round?
Boom, boom. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful combination. He didn't put the power behind that. That's where they connect. That was nice. Look at this. Completely, yep.
I never saw that.
Nope. Keep momentum going. Beautifully timed. But it didn't work out in the end. That side kick, that's a great weapon that he has.
Yeah, he's really able to keep distance with that. As we take a look in the corner of Ilias Marty, looking very fresh. He told us that, you know, his coaches and his training partners had really smashed him in this camp, more so than usual, so he felt like his conditioning was going to be good for all 5 rounds.
Well, that's it, you know, I always tell people, if you're a painter and you bring half a can of paint and so you cannot finish it, why would you be a painter? So it's important to be able to go the full distance.
It's a good kick from Marty. It was subtle, but, you know, caught Chelme stepping forward.
Yeah, and it's 5 rounds, you know, kicks like that constantly are going to be very effective in the end. and it slows down the movement of your opponent. That was a good kick from Chelmia. Nice front kick there. That was beautiful. From Marty again.
Yeah, he tried to time it into an outside trip, but no luck. Good timing on that counter, a little push. Chelmia switching stances around, they're toe-to-toe now.
So as you said, Buzz, he started to like bounce a little bit, Chelmia.
Marty's just so elusive when they get into those flurries. That head movement, you know, completely took him out of the way.
Yeah, and also the way he moved out of his feet immediately. Let him miss, moving to the side.
That was a good kick from Chelmia, good thud to the midsection, but again they tie up and nobody able to get the better of the clinch exchange.
Well, two again, he worked on that because they're crisp, they're nice.
They are, and Chelmia was just happy to take it on the guard. Dangerous in the 5-ounce gloves, though.
He did it again, Marty, moving out of the way.
Marty looks more technical, right?
Yep.
With the punches and kicks as well, and the combinations as well.
The combinations of them, that's the key here.
Yeah, I mean, usually we see that level of technicality from Owen Chelmia.
Exactly, but you know, now it's like because Marty found a way. I mean, this is how they trained him. They know they were going to face a guy who comes forward the whole time. Okay, so let's do that in training. And that's how you see, if he doesn't move, he doesn't move.
Yeah.
Everything is on the counter. Moving out of the way constantly. So Owen needs to lure him into a corner, but, you know, again, look at that.
Yep.
It's beautiful movement. It's very hard to do, and especially with these corners because you can use the wall.
And we do expect this kind of speed from the 61-kilo fighters. Again, though, Marty eats down the midsection, tries to fight back himself. They're good shots. Chelmia trying to bob and weave and find his way in. 10 seconds left in round number 3. We are probably going to be going to the championship rounds.
Yeah, if Chelmia is not talking, he should start talking now, because maybe when you trigger your opponent and get him angry, that's when they start making mistakes, you know, because Marty is fighting a really good fight.
Yeah, strategically very good. Let's take a look at some of the replays
here. Very good, Maigiri. Very good, Maigiri.
Yep. Boom, that's kick to the body there. But closing the distance too fast. Nice.
There's a shot. Yeah, a shot of Owen Chelmia and his mother in his corner, standing, trying to show that he's not tired. But Bas Lyoto, there's something that's got to change for Owen Chelmia here, because you feel like he's starting to drop behind a little bit.
Yep. No, and you're 100% right. I mean, it's not mixing it up enough. You know, the movement is being difficult for him right now. The movement from Marty.
I don't think Chelmia has to change his game. You know, he's trying to play the game of Madri, which is good for Madri. So he has to keep push forward to put his game.
Well, he's got a maximum of 6 minutes left to do so. Another 3 on the clock here as we start the first of our championship rounds. Remember to follow us on social media at Karate Combat, or join us on the web, karate.com, for all your information on the promotion. Chelmia continually moving forward. We really didn't expect him not to, but he's got to find a way to stop the movement of Ilias Marty here.
Yeah, and again, the 1-2 is being very effective the whole fight. And again, moving out of the way.
Chelmia happy to eat shots on the guard as he comes in. Marty, conversely, is happy to eat one of those to the body as he moves away. They tussle again in the clinch here. Not really too much to separate them on that occasion.
That's a good kick again.
Il a peur de t'échasser, Milouche. Il reste une crosse. Même pas. Quand en bas, il tape en haut. Ouais. Il est mort, yes. Bravo.
Let's work.
And again, they tie up once more in the middle.
Dernière minute, yes.
Same kind of exchanges happening repeatedly here. Chelmia pushing forward. Marty countering, that's a good sequence. He kicks the legs out from the Irishman and flurries on top. Down to the last minute of round number 4.
Wow.
So I can say Madre is so technical. He used foot sweep, he used everything. And the Yokogiri side kick, which is good, right?
Yeah, and on top of that movement, his movement is great. You know, every time you get him in the corner, watch, he's going to be out of it in a bit. Oh, okay, this is maybe the one time it's not.
Yeah, I mean, this is when we're really going to see the pace and if the conditioning pays off.
The only problem that I see for Madre is the short distance, because Chelmia wants the short distance, and he has to be very aware at the end of his movement. I mean, like in Madre, because, you know, in karate you call that zanshin. You gotta be ready for the end of movement to block, to move backward, or to do another combination. Otherwise, Chelmia can have some advantage over Madre in the short distance.
Well, we end round number 4. We're going to be going to a 5th and final round. Let's take a look back at some of the replays from round number 4.
Boom. Side kick, fights its target. Beautiful right again. This movement, that beautiful kick. And it's a powerful kick. Bang, bang, look at that.
Very good.
Yeah, connected full.
Kizamizuki and Gyakuzuki very clean.
Yep. Wow, that's very good.
Tu restes bien en ligne. Tout, ça y est, tu dis depuis tout à l'heure.
One last look at Owen Chelmia in the corner there.
Je sais.
Let's see if he comes out firing on all cylinders. He may appreciate that he has to go for broke here in this 5th and final round.
He knows, but you know, but he can't lock him up. It's constantly moving.
Yeah, and on the occasion when Marty isn't moving out of the way, he does a good job of initiating a clinch and completely stalling all the action to get it reset.
Yeah, there's been some great game planning going on in Marty's camp, I can tell you that.
Yeah, really good. Marty did tell us that he was mentally more focused for this 5-round fight than he's perhaps been for any of his other appearances here at Karate Combat, and I think that's showing.
Well, listen, if he's going to win this fight, he's only going to get better and better, because the improvements he made since last time are pretty dramatic. He was already good. We said in the opening, the guy's he's got great accuracy, everything. But sometimes he's a little bit too wild, but that wild he took away. Would be the calculated wild man should be his nickname.
As the time go by, I believe that Chelmia has more advantage because of the distance, you know.
Yep.
He has he's going to the short distance more and more, because it's hard to Madre to keep the distance all the time and stop the guy over there, because it requires a lot of energy.
Marty's escaping less and less out of the corner now.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, he is managing to tie it up here, which is buying him time. We've only got 2 minutes left in this entire fight now. I'd perhaps like to see Chelmia try and break those ties more aggressively and throw the hooks off the break.
Yeah. Oh, there again he landed.
Chelmia's cut the angle really good. He always ahead of Marty. See?
Yeah, good pitmanship, should we say?
Yeah, but then again, you know, but he can't stop him.
Oh, it's a big shot from Chelmia. Lands a left hand on the way in. A little bit of ground and pound, and he wants Marty back up on his feet as quickly as possible, because he's got just 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go to work here.
Well, this happened in round 1 as well, and Marty survived that. Later in the round, though, it will do more damage, right? A punch. So let's see what happens.
See here, I'd like to see him try and dictate a break rather than accept a complete reset. The crowd firmly pushing these two fighters on as we approach the final 40 seconds of this championship bout.
See, if I was Chelmier here, I would push him away constantly. I would never be in this position right now. Yeah. Because he's got 30 seconds to go.
That's what I'm saying, dictate the break.
Constantly.
Short shots off the break.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, you said it.
We're through a frantic 14 and a half minutes. There's just 30 seconds, well, 20 seconds left now. Chelmier again driving forward, Marty on his bike, circling all the time. And that's a nice snapping roundhouse kick.
How cool in the 5th round.
Little jumping kick. 3, 2, 1. That is going to do it for this championship fight here. They both raise their hands up. And it was an impressive performance from both young men. I mean, we've got to remember, both these guys, just 23 and 24 years old.
It's amazing. I mean, I started fighting at 28, my MMA career. It was late. But I did Thai boxing before that, okay. Boom, look at that, makes a backflip.
A backflip from Ilias Marty. He thinks he's done enough.
Yeah.
We've got replays coming right now from the 5th and final round. For one more time, gents, give us your thoughts on that last round's action.
So I like the cuff kick and also the combination because Chelmier is always over Madre. You know, he doesn't want to give a timing to even breathe.
Yeah, he's get frustrated. He wants to go forward the whole time he wants to fight. But Marty's going in and out and in and out. Boom, look at that. Out of nowhere. And that was the last round.
Yeah.
When he did it, the 5th round. And then he just walked up here and made a backflip.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, man, I'm not tired.
Well, bear with us here, ladies and gentlemen. We are just... Well, we have got a 6th and final round. Unbelievably, for the 2nd time in one night, our special round provision has been triggered. And Ilias Marty...
There's something going on with his hand.
Yeah. Has he
really
broken his hand again? Because he broke his hand against Hasanov. Well, this is interesting here.
Yeah,
what we ended up with was a potential split draw, but the referees can say that they can opt for another round to try and decide the difference. We, of course, saw that in our opening bout here this evening. Owen Chelmier is walking around like there's nothing left, and this fight is going to get waved off. What a strange occurrence. We're just going to get clarification here from our head official and our referee. I think Ilias Marty has either snapped his forearm or broken part of his hand for that sudden death round due to a broken arm or broken hand, which means that Owen Chelmier is going to take the win by injury TKO here and become our first 61 kilo champion. What a turn of events.
Yeah, this is crazy. I know, well, apparently what they say always, aggression counts the most, they say. Right, so the pushing forward had to have been the reason.
Well, let's go. We'll break this down a bit more for you once we get the official decision made here. But let's go down into the pit and get the official decision from this title bout. There we see Owen Chelmier receiving the golden belts from our league president, Mr. Adam Kovac, and Sensei Lyoto Machida. So our new 61 kilo champion is down in the middle of the pit with our broadcast colleague Andrea Ocampo to give his thoughts on that bout.
Oh, and quite the finish. Congratulations. I'm sure you're feeling a lot of mixed feelings. Can you please walk us through as to what you're feeling right now?
Yeah, definitely. It's a kind of confusing moment. It's what you work extremely hard to get, and that's not the way you want to win. It's very unfortunate, but I have no doubt that we'll run this back and it'll be a 10 times better fight next time.
Oh, and very commendable for you both. You know, any thoughts on, obviously, your opponent? What would you like to say to him?
Just, I'd love to fight him again. I'd love to set this straight. I don't want to win it this way. I want to finish him or make it completely undisputed. I don't want any arguments against it.
Well, you saw it here, folks. The story does not end here. Well, sir, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Owen Chalmia.
What a respectful acceptance speech from Owen Chalmia. You heard it from him. That's not the way he wants to win it, but nonetheless, on this occasion, that is the way he has won it, as he raises his new golden belt up into the air and pays respects to the crowd here. As he said, a personally confusing finish for him. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more from this young man. Let's get pit side and get Mr. Robin Black's thoughts on that bout.
You know, guys, the journey of the martial artist, especially the young martial artist, is about actualizing yourself, becoming your potentialities. And it's experiences like this that help the martial artist grow. Marty, with the injury, having to experience that kind of pain and loss, and then Owen Chalmia winning, but those feelings of uncertainty. This is part of their journey, and we'll get to see them continue it when they face each other again.
Yes, thank you, Robin. We've got an extra interview here for you. Our broadcast colleague Andrea Ocampo is going to be down pit side with our referee Mark Goddard, who's going to explain the ending to that bout.
I'm standing here with Mark, the referee. You know, that was quite an emotional title fight. I know everybody's reeling. Can you please let us know as to why you stopped the fight?
Yeah, at the end of the fifth, under karate combat rules, if the judges denote an overtime round, it needs to be a split decision. It was a split decision, so the sixth overtime round was announced. Unfortunately, the fighter in the blue corner couldn't answer the bell. He told me he'd broke his hand, and he's since retired himself out of the fight, which means his opponent will win via valid TKO.
Well, thank you so much for that clarification.
Thank you.
We're going to take a look back at the montage of action from that title fight, Bas. Let's talk us through this, but, first of all, Ilyas Made, what a fantastic way of hiding that broken arm. We had no clue.
No clue. Well, that's the last time exactly the same thing happened. He broke his hand and he kept on fighting. I mean, the guy's as tough as nails. I thought he did a phenomenal job. It's the 1-2s, and you're seeing it here right now. He landed those most of the time, 80% of them if he was throwing them, and the movement was awesome.
Yeah, talk about his defensive movement, because it was either laterally escaping or he was able to tie up in the clinch.
Yeah, and not only escaping, but while he was escaping, he was first tagging the opponent, and then he was escaping. So, with the legs and the hands included, I was thinking he was leaning a little bit towards him, but you know what? In the rules it says specifically, and I've been saying this in the openings of the show sometime, that aggression counts the most. And aggression, the moving forward pressure the whole time, for Owen, that is probably the reason the judges did it.
Yeah, and you have to remember that rounds are scored individually on each round, so the judges saw that maybe 1 round even and 2 rounds apiece. It's not necessarily the content of the entire fight. You can just nick a round and lose a round by a bit more, and it still counts 1 apiece. Yeah, exactly. And Owen started connecting the later rounds more and more and more. You saw Marty was getting tired, but still landing the high kick in the last moment. Escaping what you said. Actually, when he got tired, he didn't move out of the corner anymore, but he was never out of the fight ever. He was still connecting with punches, even the 1-2.